Hey everybody, Matt Monster here, and no gameplay footage right now because we're just going to discuss this huge patch that just happened, the anniversary patch of 2015 1.0. Um, I guess my only complaint with the patch is the fact that now I have to put this huge big name on all the videos. I already don't have enough room for half the names of the videos. My only complaint there. There are some massive changes, and there's some changes to the heroes. The heroes changes I'm going to discuss individually, so I'm only going to discuss the other changes that are going on with the patch. So there's a huge anniversary event, and a massive amount of gifts that you're going to be getting, and you know, you're going to have so many gift boxes in your inventory, it's going to be crazy, and that's going to be awesome. And, you know, why not take advantage of that while you can? I mean, log in, get it. You're not going to lose anything. Who you open up all those boxes on is up to you. Or you can also, something people don't realize is you can save those boxes in your stash and open them up on a new hero, if you're wondering how I get so geared on some of my new heroes. So additionally, there's also going to be XP, rare item find, and special item find boost of 50% in the background. If that actually means anything, I have no idea. They're announcing that Silver Surfer is supposed to be out in June at the end. Don't know if that's true or not. I hope so, because, you know, Silver Surfer, come on. They announced the Shield Omega system, which is basically a alternate advancement system, or, you know, a different way of advancing your character. And you do that through shared quests. So apparently they had a lot of problems making everybody have shared quests. They didn't like any of the way the legendaries mix and mingled. They didn't like the way it was working. Probably because everybody can exploit it to the fullest and make it work for them at a maximum advantage in Midtown, and they felt that was broken. I don't know why. So they made a separate type of quest, which are shared quests, which give you the Omega XP. So every time you do a shared quest, you get one of those Omega XP bubbles, and you're going to need tons of Omega XP bubbles. I mean, that's going to be a separate video, and I'd probably have to do like 20 Omega XP bubbles a day for a year to be able to adequately show off all those buffs. I mean, there's just so many. I don't know if any of you ever played Path of Exiles, but it's not quite as big of a alternate advancement system, but it's huge, and you need massive amounts of these bubbles. Even though they give you 5, you can barely buy anything with 5. You know, most everything that's good is anywhere from 50 to a couple hundred bubbles. And then to unlock certain trees too, you can't even see certain trees until you do certain special events. And I don't even think those special events are in the game yet, so those might be for things opening up later. So the shared quests are basically daily quests that everybody gets, and everybody gets the same shared quest, and you can basically repeat that same quest over and over and over every day. So that's how they made sharing quests easy. Kind of weird. You know, I don't think it would have been broken if they did anything else. And of course, raids are out now, and I haven't done any of the raids yet. And they have 2 different raid types, normal and hard. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to do hard mode without a specific group or not. So it looks like hard mode is set for just super groups by what I can read, because you have to finish the regular difficulty first before you can do the hard difficulty. So that will be interesting. Trading, you can now trade in game. About time. It only took them a year. It probably took like a week to code. Item changes. Unfortunately, the swap blessing recipe is back to a normal 100,000 credits to swap. I'm still alright with it. I'm not going to keep buying thousands of blessings, unless I have the extra Odin marks. Unfortunately, those shared quests do not give you Odin marks necessarily, so that's the downfall of doing Omega quests over legendary quests. I'm not sure if I like that again. Custom affix crafting now costs a lot more to do. However, they say they've tightened the roles. I don't mind them costing so much if they would just make it so we can pick whatever buff we want. I mean, come on. If we're going to have a high cost, let us pick it. If it's going to be cheap, let it be random. But I don't see what would be game-breaking by letting us just pick whatever buff we want. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it should probably just be a set amount and skip this randomness. Why are they... There's only a 3 million credit cap anyways. Why do they want to suck all our credits away? What are we doing with credits? Nobody can buy them. Nobody can sell them. There's no gold farmers. It just makes no sense. This game doesn't need credit sinks in the least. There's no purpose for credits, to be honest with you. The gear doesn't get damaged. And it just, I don't see a purpose in credits. At least in credit sinks with this type of custom affixes where they make us randomly pick between 6 affixes that randomly go through a range. If you want to have a high cost, I think we should be able to pick whatever we want. If you're going to have a low cost, then let it be random. That's just me. That's just annoying, if you ask me too. It makes it hard on characters at low level. Characters beginning, and really makes it annoying for them. People just starting out. So basic hero changes that I will discuss on this. There's going to be a higher cap on item ranks. I don't even know why they call it item ranks, but basically items that you equip that give you plus ranks can now take you, instead of from 40 to 50. You still can only put 20 points building power points from your own character. However, you can go from 20 to 50 through items. So that's a lot more power. You are getting a lot more power points. Instead of the basic 2 points per level from 1 to 60, or 2 to 60 actually, because 1 is predetermined, you now get a total of 150 power points instead of, I think it was 130 or 120. I don't even think it was 120. I think it was like 118, 116. It was really low. You're getting 150 now at bare minimal, and then if you do all the quests and everything, I think you go up to 164 or something like that. But 150 power points really opens up characters for you. You will be able to at least guarantee a really decent build and the signature move of the character on that build, instead of having to decide between 6 skills. Obviously now you get 7.5 skills easily. And if you do all the quests, you'll get 8 skills at 20. That's going to make characters easily hybridable. I know there's no such word, but you're going to make them hybrid able if you want them hybrided. You can easily take a lot of passives if they have a lot of passives. You can do multiple type of builds, and spend points like crazy. So unified power scaling is this new thing they're talking about. For most powers, each point in that power now increases its benefit at an average of 10%. So certain characters were getting much more benefit by spending a power point than other characters. That's been flattened throughout the character base. Some of you are going to be very unhappy. Some of you are going to be very happy. So as a result, some powers rank 1 values have been reduced and rank 40 values have been increased. That's what I'm talking about. Some characters really probably got nerfed, and some characters really got buffed. And now that players have additional power points and a higher cap to powers ranks, they will be able to make more significant choices with their builds and optimizations. That's what I've just been talking about. Total damage over base damage. What that huge paragraph is basically saying is now that powers that affect damage bonuses now affect total damage instead of base damage. However, they also say that gear that affects damage only affects base damage. I don't know why they only did it halfway. You know, that kind of brings me up to that half something, half a mule. Doing it, I think items should also go the full extent. But also, those items do tend to have a huge bonus on them. So that's going to make those skills really huge bonuses. And those skills are going to hit very, 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 very hard because it's going to be a total bonus. And it's not going to be a stacking bonus. It's going to take the total bonus before any of those benefits and then apply the total of those benefits. So say you had two skills that increased 20% damage, you're going to take the total damage and multiply it by 40%. That's how that's going to work. Charge up powers, because they add increased damage, and it went from 200% base damage, now they're going to do 100% total damage. So those are kind of changed a little bit. And a new buff system, so they say. They're calling it a categorical team buff. And basically all that means is all the buffs out there have basically been defined into 5 basic buffs and 1 ultimate type power buff so far that I've seen. And there's accuracy, constitution, dexterity, power, and toughness. Oh, there's two ultimate powers. There's unbreakable. I just didn't read about the unbreakable one. So what that means is if you have 2 characters that are providing accuracy, they don't stack. But, you know, if you have one character off in La La Land left and another character off in La La Land right, yeah, everybody should be able to have that buff anyways. So part of the change is these buffs are a set amount. So no longer spending points increase the buff's benefit. So that's kind of a blessing and kind of a curse. You won't get much more health regen out of it because 1 point will give you the 210 health regen. So you're capped at the health regen. However, you can also just spend 1 point and get the 210 health regen out of it. Kind of a blessing, kind of a curse. You can't get over that 210 health regen. They're regulating that health regen again. However, there is a pretty good pool of healers out there, and basically that's what this is basically making healers. However, 210 health a second isn't going to be a big heal. And if Sentinel Invasion Doom is any indication of what these raids are going to be like, 210 health a second really ain't going to amount to much. However, you know, you're going to want it. And the big healer is probably going to be Scarlet Witch, believe it or not. She probably has the best, easiest heal because you just turn it on and it does it. The next 2 follow-ups will be Psylocke and, believe it or not, Daredevil. As long as he can maintain his, and he takes it, as long as he can maintain his finishing move, and it has a long duration, it's a pretty good buff. After that, you got Deadpool, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Colossus, and Doctor Strange, Emma Frost, Jean Grey. They can all put up the healing buff, but they're pretty conditional. So, and, you know, aside from Colossus, who I think has 2 seconds down per 45 seconds out, if you build him right, you know, it'll be pretty decent. So, Scarlet Witch, predominant DPS healer now. I guess they love Scarlet Witch. And that's okay. Not too bad. And that's basically it. That's the changes. After that, we're getting into individual character changes. Nobody's really nerfed. Some have been messed up a little bit, and not messed up, but messed around and changed. Like Miss Marvel, they moved around her boss killer move to a spirit spender. No longer is she. My big secret before was using that mighty punch because it was just as good as Cosmic Haymaker, but you didn't have to spend spirit, and all these people were using Cosmic Haymaker doing the same damage. They were just not doing the math, and that was funny. Now you have to go to Cosmic Haymaker. But that's going to go into builds, and I'm going to do individual new builds for everybody because there's so many new points. It's just time to do it. But that's going to take a very long time. So, you know, you're talking somewhere around 16, 18 hours of taping. So it's going to be a while, and I'll do individual little changes because they're not too big, but the changes into design are big enough to do individual changes. So that's it. So that's patch 2015 1.0, and we'll have to have some fun now. So hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you everybody real soon.